It's 4:13, Monday, 27th of Jan, long weekend. Just been in flat viewings, getting in some 4x4s on my feet, and instead of sort of the Bronco version or variation that I have been doing, I'm just going to be ripping into just literally like 4-minute intervals of like running. Two reasons for this. First one is I feel like it. Second one is I did roll my ankle last week at our trial camp, and so I did like a good bit of turning and changed direction and stuff a couple days ago, but I'm going to be playing at a tournament this week down in Kiowa, down for Kiowa in Christchurch. Yeah, going to be training on Wednesday night, so this is going to be like a hard session on my feet. Not necessarily like the most ideal in terms of a tournament week, but I just feel like I need to move the needle here a little bit. The thing that I'm thinking about with this is that running, like actual running, as opposed to like say the Broncos. The Broncos really, it works you a lot more anaerobically because there's a lot more change directions, a lot more stop and start, acceleration, deceleration, and so like there's a lot more fitness in terms of that. But also you can't just tuck in for 4 minutes like you could just running. So yeah, that's sort of where I'm at with this. Humble jog for a few minutes, kick into our 4x4s, not doing the optimal warm-ups and stuff because sometimes life doesn't allow for that. So yeah, we're just tucking in, we're just getting it done. How's that for views? Okay, 1 of 4. 1 of 4. So about 900 meters. It's like 4:30 pace-ish. Feeling the heavy one, headwind, and feeling heavy. Rep 2. About to hit the headwind. After, so halfway though. 2, halfway. That headwind is something else, man. Grateful though. Hell yeah. Pretty much doing 1 minute of a walk and then 3 minutes just easy jogging, keeping my heart rate sort of 150s, just like zone 2 upper end for me. Yeah, so it's 4 hard, 4 easy times 4, 4x4 by 4x4s. Finished the third rep, had a mean tailwind, so it felt way better. That should be low, close to those 430s. Usually I'd have this kind of interval thing set up on my watch, but didn't today. But no worries. So I don't really know how far I've gone, but I also haven't really been measuring how much my heart rate's been going, but it's usually about 30 beats a minute. So yeah, we're coming up on 5Ks. 3 minutes easy jog, and then into our last rep, and then done. Oh man. 4 done. 4 and 4. Do a little 4-minute jog, cool down, walk, jog, cool down. Back to work, get the heart rate down, stretch. That's me. Okay, back in the car, but easier to talk when I don't feel like I and being one of those like vain influencers who's recording themselves in public. Like I am doing that, but like it's easy to do that kind of stuff with Cam or like with the boys because you're like as a group, so you just feel like, I don't know, you just feel like safer, you know? Whereas when you're by yourself, like doing it is just like, you gotta remember no one actually cares, but also people like, you know, people obviously will look and stuff. Anyways, that was a good session. Haven't done that like 4x4s like actually just as a straight run in a while. As I was saying, usually I've been doing it as a Bronco session, like variation, like just more relevant to touch and in season. But yeah, feel like I'm just a little bit lacking, or where I maybe need to move the needle at the moment, going into back end of the season and the business end of the season, is sort of that aerobic power. Got a great like base that's always going to be good. Obviously could make it better, but I got a great base. I'm pretty like anaerobically sweet at the moment, but I haven't done a lot of this stuff. And obviously the build up to the season's been different to usual because of World Cup and then the off season traveling and then coming back and pretty much straight into season. So yeah, like, you know, like the prep and the approach is obviously different to the ideal and usual, and even down to the session, you know, like it just comes back to sort of, yeah, what do you need right now and where does it fit into the schedule? And also in terms of training, yeah, like there's always going to be optimal and then there's going to be reality, and blending the two is the challenge of being like a strength and conditioner and a trainer and or just an athlete, you know, like trying to figure it out for yourself. So yeah, like today was one of those days where it was like a little bit of like, yeah, look, like we're not going to do the perfect ideal science optimized warm-up, you know. I haven't had the most optimized nutrition. I haven't had the best sleep. Or I've already done a like blah blah blah. You know, like it was just one of those ones. You're like, okay, like all good. We're just gonna tuck in and get it done. And I got in a good session, which is better than if I did nothing at all. You know. And if you're ever really really fatigued, obviously you can adjust the session, strip back the volume, the intensity, etc. But today I was like, yeah, I know that I'm feeling a bit like but I know myself well enough and my numbers well enough to be like, oh, nah, bro, you're all good. You just get it done, bro. So yeah, it felt good. The second thing that it makes me think about or sort of want to reflect on or share, because obviously sort of the goal of these videos is to share a little bit of behind the scenes into like the training or my training, and that's me, but also me as a touch player, and me as a strength and conditioner as well. So it's something worth sharing is the fact that when you're doing hard sessions like this, a lot of people will like say the 4x4 is a perfect example. You never want to go so hard in the first interval. This is something that like we learned at uni, and Coach Sun sort of really drilled into me as well. You never want to go so hard in that very first rep that you're absolutely harked in the next rep and the third rep and the fourth rep, to the point where like there's a major drop off in the times, like there's no consistency, or your technique just goes out the door. So like if I was to get 5 minute 1k in 4 minutes, and then the next rep I got like 800 meters, and then the next rep I got 500 meters, and the last rep I got 500 meters, there's a massive change percentage wise. Like there's a massive change, and it's massive fatigue as well, you know, showing that. So I always want to be trying to be consistent with your efforts, and therefore sort of more or less your pace, but yeah, your effort across your reps. And the second thing is when you're doing really intense training, just like you want to be consistent with your effort, you want to be consistent and actually consciously practice or be aware of or cue yourself mentally, or the boys or whoever you're with, your technique under fatigue. So making sure that as you do push really hard and your body does fatigue, you keep technique one of the three components of like how well you do in anything, like especially like running or whatever is your technique or your efficiency. Your technique is what leads to efficiency, or part of it. And so obviously there's going to be your effort and all that stuff, but if your technique just goes out the door as soon as you get tired, you're going to be having to use more effort to get the same, you know, because you're just doing so bad. So yeah, yeah, doing hard sessions is always like real good for a blowout and fitness and stuff, but it's also good to practice your pacing, your consistency of your effort, and also your quality of movement under fatigue as well. So yeah, that session today obviously was all of the above, and yeah, had lots of good fun. Anyways, that's the session. This has definitely been an iPhone training day, because obviously wasn't with Cam, didn't have the camera, and this was kind of impromptu as well. I'm trying to do a video like every other week or every week if I can, so I don't really want to leave it too long, because it's been like low-key a week or 2 weeks, so yeah, enjoy. We'll see you in the next one.